GM, and happy Friday. Welcome to the weekly crypto recap. My name is Josh Gordon and I'm your host. We've got some news stories to cover today, as well as just some general market updates. Now, before we dive in, please be sure to hit subscribe and make sure that you can hear the latest content that we're dropping. We do weekly crypto recaps every Friday, the Unstoppable podcast, as well as podcast clips. And we're launching a brand new podcast series called Cut to the Crypto, which is the shortest crypto podcast. So hit subscribe and stay up to date. All right, let's jump into the news stories of the week. Our first story of the week is about Luna, which is a token. Now, the Luna Foundation Guard raised $1 billion to form a Bitcoin reserve for the stablecoin that's backed on the Luna network called UST. Now, this raise is one of the largest in the history of crypto. They announced that this $1 billion raise was a way to help them maintain the stability of their stablecoin. Now, historically, one of the biggest criticisms of algorithmic stablecoins is the risk of a bank run scenario. Now, this is where demand to sell the stablecoin outstrips the supply in a way that breaks that $1 peg scenario. So if there is much more demand to sell the stablecoin than there is demand to buy it, then you have the risk of that $1 stablecoin price being broken. So the UST is pegged to the price of the dollar, and it currently boasts a market cap of more than $12 billion, a number that has more than tripled since November of last year. So this $1 billion reserve is big news and insurance for Luna. Now, why is Luna exciting at all? Well, they do have some real world use cases which are worth pointing out. Now, in Korea, there are some e-commerce stores that accept UST. And this is because credit card fees in Korea are about 3% or more, and UST charges only about a 1% fee. Now, they have 20 plus e-commerce stores in Korea accepting the stablecoin, with the second biggest one in Korea currently accepting it. So it'll be interesting to see if UST is adopted more and more. We're definitely seeing more stablecoins arise. And it's really good to see that these stablecoins are actually having reserves backed by actual funding. Whereas some of them we're not quite sure where that funding comes from. So it's awesome that we're seeing transparency in such a big way here. I'll also say that Luna is exciting because they do have a savings protocol called Anchor, where you can stake your UST there and get 20% yield. So pretty amazing way to have currency in stablecoin and be able to get interest on it. All right, with our second story, let's chat about FTX. Now, FTX has been on fire. They had $750 million in revenue, with $350 million of that being profit last year. The founder is worth $22 billion plus, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. And they had an amazing Super Bowl commercial starring Larry David. It was actually my favorite Super Bowl commercial, Larry. I just think Larry's funny and Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it was framed really well. If Larry is saying something isn't a good idea, chances are it's a good idea. So I love that commercial. But let's talk about what they announced this week. They announced FTX-as-a-Service for gaming companies. So if you're a game and you want to launch NFTs, tokens, wallets, whatever it may be, crypto related, you can license FTX to use inside of your game. So why do gaming companies want to incorporate NFTs into them? Well, an FTX spokesperson said that we are launching FTX Gaming because we see games as an exciting use case for crypto. There are 2 billion plus gamers in the world who have played with and collected digital items, and now you can own them. So, that philosophy around owning the assets that you play with is very much in line with what we believe here at Unstoppable Domains. If you buy an NFT domain, you own it. You don't have to pay subscription fees on it, renewal fees. You don't fear losing it. You can take it with you wherever you go. And FTX is thinking about game assets in a similar way. So we saw Axie Infinity, the game, generate over $2 billion in revenue last year. And they really were the first big hit crypto game to take off. According to them, they had 3 million daily active users playing just a few months ago. So president of FTX US, Brett Harrison, he said, the company believes blockchain technology can build on existing game features without detracting from the experience of players who are hesitant to adopt it. We've definitely seen some gaming people be hesitant to say that, NFTs and crypto gaming is something that they want. They feel that it could take away from the gaming experience when the focus maybe shifts to be a more financial aspect of it. But FTX is definitely thinking about how we can introduce NFTs without necessarily making it a big finance and 24/7 marketplace type experience. I think there's definitely going to be room for some games where people have the opportunity to make money and really benefit financially from their NFTs. And there's going to be some cases where these NFTs aren't as financial focused and are really more use focused and utility focused. So I'm excited to see those use cases and experiences evolve, because I don't think every game should just be about how much money you can make from staking your assets and playing to earn. But it is very cool to see how you might be able to take your skins, maybe it's your weapons or your attributes with you from game to game. So hope to see more crypto gaming in the future. With our last story of the day, I want to bring up the Ukraine and Russia crisis, because not only is it affecting people on a global scale, it's also affecting the financial and the crypto markets. Before we dive into what's going on here, I want to say that to everybody from Unstoppable Domains who's currently being affected by this in Ukraine and Russia, we're thinking of you and we appreciate you from a colleague and a friend and just a Web3 citizen. So we hope you're staying safe. To talk about the crypto markets. Now, we saw the crypto market slump to 1.5 trillion from, it was higher around 2 trillion as Russia attacked Ukraine. Now the market tumbled just 9% on Thursday alone, and people are seeing crypto as a risky asset right now. So the narrative around Bitcoin being digital gold is still in development. And what we're seeing is when financial markets, traditional financial markets are getting hit, so will crypto. So they haven't quite decoupled yet. Now, the fear index is borderline extreme fear right now. So if things get worse abroad, I think that crypto definitely could continue to go down. But what I'm sitting back and asking myself is, did my broader thesis change? Do I think that crypto will be adopted by more people worldwide in the coming years? Do I think more use cases are coming across art, collectibles, gaming, identity, and the broader use cases we're seeing develop right now? Do I think that developers are flocking from the Web 2 world and they're joining Web 3 startups and they're starting their own companies and working on their own projects? The answer to all that is yes. So while prices go down, this definitely is a time for us all to take a step back and analyze your portfolio, analyze your NFTs. But I would say that we're seeing the markets decline right now really because of this global issue and not because this is some micro crypto issue only. Okay, let's talk about Unstoppable Domains. Now, we have a surprise sale going on right now. For a limited time, when you buy an NFT domain, you can get one free. We're doing a buy one, get one free sale. So this is a great opportunity for you. Get the domain you've always wanted, and then also get one for your pseudonym, your alter ego, maybe for your project you've been thinking about starting, or even for a friend that you want to introduce to NFTs. NFT domains are such a good NFT to gift to a friend who is learning about crypto, because one of the easiest use cases to wrap your mind around is sending payments. So it is so much easier to send payments to joshgordon.crypto or joshgordon.nft than it is to OX1734A2175, you know what I mean, your Ethereum address. So having them set up a domain, link their wallet address to it, and then sending them a payment is really a light bulb moment for a lot of people. So check out the BOGO sale if you're interested. In Unstoppable news, I also want to mention we have our YouTube clips currently live on our YouTube channel. We have our Unstoppable podcast, which we always release a video of, but we're now breaking down that podcast into 3 insight-dense YouTube clips per week. So if you don't have a full hour to dedicate to the podcast, I think these clips are great because each of them are really focused on a specific lesson that the guest of the week is sharing. And you can jam in a lot of information in a short amount of time by binging the YouTube clips playlist on YouTube. So check that out. And for an NFT project of the week, I want to give a massive shout out to Mint Songs. The CEO of Mint Songs, Dwight, me and him are friends, and he was on the podcast this past week to talk about everything music and Web3. Now, Mint Songs enables true digital asset ownership. So the songs that you collect, you own. And just like I said around FTX with gaming, the philosophy of owning your music NFTs is also very in line with Unstoppable. So we'd love to see that. They're also eco-friendly because they run on Polygon. So if you're an artist, you can turn your songs into eco-friendly NFTs with zero minting fees. So that's not only good for you, it's good for your community you're building, and lets you build really a Web3 community that you can call yours. So shout out to Mint Songs and the whole team over there. I think they're doing awesome things in the music world. That's it for today's episode. Please let us know your thoughts on if there's topics you'd like to see covered in future weeks. Drop a comment below and let me know, do you like these weekly crypto episodes? What are you liking on the Unstoppable podcast or YouTube clips? I'd love to hear from you. You can also catch me on Twitter at JustWavyJ. That's it for this week. I hope you learned something. We'll see you next Friday. Peace out.